what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true you have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I can buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 63 Tools.
All right. Thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny, do you have $488 to lend, man?
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of numbers 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko, Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all-night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of October 24th, 2021 stands at new positive cases 244. Total active cases 4,656. Total recovered patients 49,380. Total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present, 55,681. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Hey, real talk. What? Hey. Let me go. Hey, it was Christmas morning. Man, I hear it all talking. So I sat listening to hear what they were saying. And I couldn't take them all. And I opened up my door. Was my neighbor Mary, who living next to me. I say, girl, where you come here for?
So welcome back.
Close up my door. She said, man, like you.
Just a bit of information for you.
Refresh your memory.
Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. Our two locations, number 51 Rushwood Street in San Fernando and 101 Cragnish Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can call at 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited, for the style in you. There's something for everyone at Lowlands Mall Tobago, where you and your entire family can enjoy a safe and superior shopping experience. All of your favorite stores, service outlets, and of course food court outlets are now open and ready for your visit. The food court takeaway is available for you, and you can dine in with a valid vaccination card. All COVID-19 protocols continue to be in place for the safety of all visitors to the mall. And remember, no mask, no entry. Visit Tobago's #1 family destination today, Lowlands Mall Tobago, with comfortable air-conditioned shopping and lots of secure parking. Tell your friends and family, Lowlands Mall Tobago is open and ready for your visit. Value Optical wishes to advise the public that all 13 branches will now be open full-time to provide expert eye care services to you. All of our regular services are now available. For your safety, we continue to practice established health and safety protocols, and we recommend that you make an appointment for all testing services. Please call us at 225-4865 or toll-free 800-2020 for all inquiries on opening hours, eye testing availability, and how we can assist your eye care needs. Value Optical, caring for your eyes. For all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies, gravel and sand, don't forget Power Master, Optima Vartan Megastar batteries starting from $488. And it's all at Johnny Q, number 15, Peter Avenue, Woodbrook, and our new Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago, off the Claude Noel Highway. Just call 63-TOOLS. So guys, we're back. Where am I? Okay, nice. Sharon. Hey, the lady there? Not hearing you. What's your food?
Just, Bruce.
Okay. I don't realize.
All right, just hold for me. Yeah, hold for me.
Every year I promise you something. Every year in the parang here in Mandolin. When you see this year, I want some Mandolin.
All right, so Bruce, we back?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
Right, so Trinidad and Tobago, you're hearing me loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I have on the line Mrs. Jennifer Batiste Primus. So I'm going to take her in right now.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, Mrs. Primus.
Good morning, Sharon, and good morning, Trinidad. We're going to take care of my people of the...
Wait, hold on, Jennifer. Hold on, just now. Right, let me hear you now.
Yes, good morning, Sharon, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. In particular, my lovely, lovely brothers and sisters of Tobago.
Mm-hmm. So, Mrs. Jennifer Batiste Primus, I woke up this morning to the reveals millions in deficit of the PSA audit. And I know that you listen to this program every morning. This is your cup of tea. So I am hoping that you would have heard me when I read the entire article of the deficit and how much monies and no accountability and so on. And
Sharon?
Yes, Mrs. Primus.
Sorry, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And in doing so, we opened the lines to take calls, and we had a caller who would have called, two callers. As I continue to say, we already understand the man they call Watson Duke, but my issue this morning is what the audit revealed. The audit revealed millions in deficit, and I am hoping that you are quite aware of the article this morning in The Guardian.
Yes, you mean in yesterday's Guardian, Sunday Guardian?
Well, I think so. Yes, today's Guardian. Yes.
Yes, the audit reveals millions in deficit.
Right. You want to give us a little bit of your comment on that?
I certainly would like to do so, Sharon, and thank you for the opportunity to talk directly to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and in particular the people of Tobago who are poised to go into an election at which Watson Duke will be contesting. But I'll get to that shortly, Sharon. Sharon, Trinidad and Tobago, this situation that exists in Tobago is just surreal. It is just surreal. How can one man destroy an entire union? Because, Sharon, that is what Watson Duke has done. He has destroyed the PSA financially and otherwise. Watson Duke assumed the presidency when I retired from the PSA. My team went up. My team contested the election and lost, so Watson Duke aside the polls together. In November 2009, between that time and now, Sharon, the information that I have, and no one has challenged it so far, and I have read it elsewhere, is that Watson Duke held one conference of delegates. Now, Sharon and Trinidad and Tobago, let me contextualize that. The Constitution of the PSA, Article 11 of the PSA states, the Conference of Delegates shall be the supreme authority. So that you have 3 layers. You have the supreme authority, that is the Conference of Delegates. Then you have the General Council, constitutionally the body for managing the affairs of the union in between meeting of the conference, because the conference meets once a year. And then you have the Executive Committee, which is led by the President. The Executive Committee should sit down and develop a draft budget, takes it to the General Council. The General Council would massage it here and there, depending on the program of activities for the year that is coming up. The General Council would massage that document that is called a draft budget. And then that budget must be approved by the General Council. Once it is approved, it goes to the Conference of Delegates. The Conference of Delegates will then discuss it. And all the delegates of the various sections, when I was president, we would have 200-300 delegates sitting together and discussing this document and the input. The end result would be that conference would approve the budget. Once conference approves the budget, only then, there is authority to spend money in the union. But what has Watson Duke done? Since 2012, 9 years, for 9 years, no conference. That goes beyond, Sharon, that goes beyond a breach of the Constitution. That is trampling and destroying the democracy, the very democracy, that plank upon which the members participate in running the affairs of the union. When I left the PSA, Sharon, I left a perfectly run organization. There were policies and procedures in place, and it was financially strong because we have spent years, Sharon. Years, because when I took over the union was in the red, as it is now, because it is worse now. And my team and I spent many sleepless nights, a lot of sacrifices. We had to go without certain terms and conditions in order to rebuild the union. And we did that together as a team. It was not one man, it's not one woman listening to the PSA. It was a team effort, and I was proud to lead that team. And when I left the PSA had over $8 million in solid cash in the bank, as well as other assets. Sharon, I have observed over the years. And this report in yesterday's Guardian, PSA audit reveals million in deficit. Sharon, do you know that this information pertains to the years 2014 and 2015? So the question is 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2020. Those years, what is the situation? I suspect that the PSA is on the brink of insolvency or could be insolvent as we speak. So that we have seen Watson Duke has not accounted to the Conference of Delegates, that supreme authority. He has not accounted for millions and millions and millions of the membership money. These are not money set aside in like Watson Duke in his private capacity. These are PSA members. Many of them have, almost all of them work very hard and they sacrifice. And Watson Duke have not accounted for millions and millions of us. In any other country, he would have been in jail. In any other country, Watson Duke would have been in jail. How could you? How dare Watson Duke? I mean, that is trampling upon the democracy in the PSA. And Sharon, I want to take time out to congratulate, to commend, to encourage the present group of PSA members who are involved in a struggle for the re-democratization, that's my word, the re-democratization of the PSA. And I talk about so there's Jennifer Felix. I hear Jennifer Felix all the time on 91.9 talking about the issues. You have Anderson, these two guys from St. Anne's Hospital. They are displaying the kind of robustness, the respect, and that anxiety to protect the democracy in the union that used to exist long time. Now, Sharon Watson Duke, this really has taken a perfectly run organization with checks and balances. Sharon, when I left that union had all the checks and balances in place. All checks and balances were in place. We would meet every year in the Conference of Delegates. Watson Duke disregarded that. But you know, I heard the General Council of the PSA, more than any other group of people, I hold the General Council of the PSA directly. They must share a huge portion of the blame for this situation because the Constitution empowers the General Council as the Finance Committee of the PSA. You have to go to the general, whatever you're doing in the PSA, Sharon. I lived there for 26-point-something years that I had the good fortune to spend in the PSA. You have to take all your financial proposals to the General Council, which is the Finance Committee. The General Council will then dilate on those issues, would take them apart, ask probing questions to ensure that whatever you brought before it has a solid basis, checks and balances, all the necessary information, and then the General Council would approve it. It is only upon receiving that approval that Watson Duke as the president and the executive can proceed to spend money. The information I have is that it's the opposite way around. Watson Duke spends. He doesn't care about the General Council. And what about those persons who are serving on the executive with him? It means, therefore, not one of them have an iota of concern that you're seeing the breaches of the Constitution and you're still comfortable with that. You continue to feed from the shore because it is in your self-interest. At this point in time, the PSA is bankrupt. Bankrupt, Sharon. Bankrupt. And I have a vested interest. And I I do believe I have the authority to speak on what is happening in the PSA. I have given many, many years and many long and hard hours. My days in the PSA were between 10 to 15 hours a day I used to work. And my pension, Sharon, my pension is tied up in the PSA. So I have a vested interest to ensure that the PSA is run or operated democratically, so that there is a financial crisis in the PSA. All kinds of crises. Watson Duke took a good functioning union and destroyed it. He destroyed it. And now Watson Duke is telling the people of Tobago, let me fix this. My fellow Tobagonians, please, the old people have a very wise saying. What you're seeing in the daylight, don't take camera to look for it in the night. And I'm sure in Tobago plan you'll have a more exciting description that any one of you could send in and tell Sharon, so Sharon could share it with you and the rest of the listening public. Watson Duke is coming to you. I'm telling you, put him in office in the THA. Let me fix this. Watson Duke cannot fix anything. He is a destroyer. He has destroyed the PSA. And if that is the PSA, and he has not accounted for millions and millions, Tobagonians, you think when those people have another saying, when dogs suck an egg, dog does suck. Not even when you put a hot egg in the dog's mouth, the dog does suck an egg. You now, Watson Duke is telling you to open up the finances of the CHA, billions of dollars. Billions. Could you imagine what he was doing there? Could you imagine what he was doing here? I appeal to the people of Tobago. Think carefully. Do not put Watson Duke into office. He's a destroyer. He's not a builder. He builds nothing. He builds nothing. He destroys. You have the PSA as a prime example. Look at what he has done to the PSA. This is a man with criminal charges, as Jennifer often says, criminal charges. And he has been found guilty before the court. Why hasn't the General Counsel summoned a meeting to discuss and to suspend? As I speak to you now, Watson Duke should have been, as a matter of fact, they should have Watson Duke from the TSA based on all the things he has done over the 9 years. He does not have the moral authority to continue to sit as president of the TSA. I call upon him to resign, to step down, and that brings me to the point where Watson Duke stated he informed the entire country he is going to retire, he is going to step down. And the next thing you know, Watson Duke paid himself in excess of $500,000. In excess of $500,000 and does not retire. Sharon, the Constitution of the PSA makes provision for anyone to the next office. And once you are paid your benefits, as a matter of fact, the day on which you are leaving the organization, you should leave with your check in hand. Watson Duke paid himself in excess of $500,000. Does not step down and continues to serve. Where are the trustees of the organization? The trustees of the PSA, they have a grave role to fulfill. Where is the General Counsel? Where are the members of the PSA who are paying $100 a month? Where are you all? How could you sit silently and allow this debacle to continue? It cannot please serve the PSA. The PSA is an organization in excess of 70 years representing public officers. Now, Sharon, I also saw in this article where they said that PSA has 80,000 members. That is not correct information. When I left the PSA in 2009, the membership was around 18,000. Based on the financial documents that have reached me from the PSA, when I look at the income and I do the calculation, it would appear that the membership right now is between 10 and 11,000, give or take. So it means that over the period of years, more than 7,000 members would have dropped out of the PSA. And I dare say it could be more as we speak. We don't know. But one thing I'm sure about, Sharon, Watson Duke has brought the PSA to a place of insolvency. And it is indeed a sad day. It is indeed a very, very sad day.
Mrs. Primus, I am so happy that you can talk with us this morning. But let me just ask you, I see the audit found that there were no current policies, procedures, or document to guide the operation of the organization. But listening to you, you said you left a proper running organization. So where did the where did the policies, procedures, or document to guide the operation of the organization? Where?
That's a good question that should be asked to Watson Duke. He has clearly disregarded it, thrown them out of the window. He probably saw them as how Kamala saw the guidelines in the Parliament on Friday.
This, for me, is an alarming. I shouldn't say an alarming. It's an explosion waiting to happen in our faces. And according to you, this has nothing to do with you wanting to it has nothing to do with no election, because we have been speaking about this for a very, 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 very long time. All that is placed in this report here has been discussed on this very said station, on this very said program.
Correct.
All of this has been discussed, and we continue to hear persons talking about three-quarters of the issues. So
but you know, Sharon, I don't want people to forget that we are able to read this PSA audit because of members whose names I called earlier, Jennifer and Oral and Coffee and Anderson and the other guy from St. Anne's Hospital. It is because they took the matter to court, and the judge directed that this audit be conducted. And that is why we ought to not only commend them, but we ought to encourage them. Do not give up this struggle. You're saying that I have been part of the struggle in the PSA in the late 70s, early 80s, for the democratization of the PSA. What you all are fighting for is the real democratization. And Sharon, I want to deal with this statement that Watson Duke made, where he said, in response to this PSA audit reveal, he made an amazing statement that the PSA is a sovereign organization, and that had nothing to do with him. Sharon, Trinidad and Tobago, please do not allow Watson Duke to envelop you all with his foolishness and his bid to duck under the radar and to remove himself. The buck starts with Watson Duke. The person who occupies the position of president leads the organization. The president's responsibility is to ensure all the officers in the organization carry out their various responsibilities in accordance with the Constitution. He is the one who is doing all the spending. The article even talks about the frequency of reimbursement to the president. So why should that be so? If you have to procure materials, there is a procedure that you follow You as president, you don't drill down. You don't drill down to that level where you are engaged in procurement. There is a procedure, at least I like a clear procedure in place. So what you cannot come and talk about sovereign organization. That is utter nonsense. What does he mean by that? That the PSA is a sovereign organization. The bottom line is Watson Duke has spent millions and millions of the members' money, and he has not accounted for it, and he must be held accountable. He must be held accountable. He must be called upon to account for all these millions of dollars. I cannot see how, in a democracy as ours, Watson Duke continue to ride freely out there. He should be in jail, sitting down and repenting for all the wrong things he has done in the PSA over the last couple of years. So don't allow him to fool you about this utter nonsense dotishness about sovereign organization. The organization operates against a constitution that required him as president to ensure that a conference of delegates is held every year before the end of March, that a budget is placed before the conference, audited financial statements for the previous year is put before the conference, and a plan of action. How are you going to run the PSA for the upcoming year? Those are the documents, as well as reports from every single officer to the conference. He has not accounted. He's a law unto him himself. I mean, what absolute craziness is this? A modicum of organizational propriety must be reintroduced to the halls of the PSA, and that means Watson Duke must go. He must go, he must account, and he must pay the ultimate by leaving the PSA and allowing people who have the best interest of the PSA at heart to go in there to clean up. And more than anything else, at this point in time, Sharon, the PSA is like a critically ill patient, required urgent surgery if the PSA is to survive.
Boy. Well, Mrs. Primus, I want to thank you so much for taking our calls. And you touched on every point that I would have wanted to ask you a question. You just flowed this morning. And I'm so happy for that.
Thank you, Kylie. My heart is still, Sharon. I am in pain for the PSA. I am in pain for the PSA. I want to thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a good day. And to Begonians, be careful. That's a wolf in sheep clothing. Be careful. You know what you have. Don't change horses in midstream. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Primus. Oh, Lord, Trinidad and Tobago, I tell you. You see, Bruce, you know, when something wrong, it can't be right. It cannot be right. And I'm reading comments here on the Facebook page and YouTube where people saying a number of things. And Mrs. Primus alluded to something there when she said that people are sitting there. We have, of course, the management then. Is it because the people are afraid to make a move or say anything? We have to put all of that into perspective. They're probably afraid. How it is? Let us listen. There are other unions in Trinidad and Tobago, right? There are other unions in Trinidad and Tobago, and they have the executive and so on. How we don't hear all this bacchanal mayhem and confusion in the other unions? Think about it. There might be tossing and turning, but we ain't hearing because apparently they probably have a strong executive and a strong and general counsel or whatever is part of the makeup the how you call it, the team now that has to do what they have to do. How it is we not hearing from any other organization all the bacchanal and mayhem and confusion? Ay.
PSA carries the largest member base for unions.
Huh?
PSA
Which one?
PSA carries the largest member base for unions.
I'm not sure if it's PSA or WT. We're not too sure.
Okay.
We need to find out that. So, guys, it's 8:37 a.m. We got a whole lot of information. You can call us up because, in a short while, we got to leave the chair for Google. So call us up quickly on 307-0930 475-7426.
Also 342-0081 and 466-5391. You have any by you?
No, nothing yet.
Okay. Neither here.
All right. Oops. I have one here.
Go ahead.
Mount St. George?
Yes, Miss Sharon.
Go ahead.
Me again.
Yeah.
Miss Sharon, let me tell you something. The people in Tobago doesn't care about what... They doesn't really care about what Miss Batiste says or what the report says, You know what they're going to say? That it's because election here that the people, they find all these kind of faults against Watson. He's a decent, respectable man. This is the talk on the ground for quite even before the last election. That he's so honorable and he's so this. Because Keith Rowley is so this and Keith Rowley is so that and Keith Rowley, they not even have the manners to say the Prime Minister. You understand? So the people who are supporting him, that report, unless it is being needed straight into their head and see something drastic happen to Watson Duke, they're not going to take it on, But you all continue to make it live that everybody will hear. And I hope the candidate and the other people that is in the PNM team here that have to say what they have to say on their platform, nail that into the people. So not the PNM people alone will hear it, the other people will hear it and they will think before they cast the vote next election. Because absolutely, I'm telling you, Ms. Sharon, the Begonians, they don't care. They don't care. They're fed up with PNM. PNM ain't do nothing for 20 years. And Keith Rowley ain't do nothing for Tobago. And all sorts of foolishness they're saying. And, I feel so ashamed. And you know what? People like Dr. Winford James supporting this foolishness because they don't have their way. And this is hurting me as fellow Tobagonians. Why Winford James will come and live in Tobago and build a big palace here? You understand? And all these nonsense they do. But you see, in order to keep in power, they fool those who are not smart. You understand? Just like those in Trinidad who are not smart, they have to hold their finger and print it on the card to vote. That is the kind of people that they have in Tobago here. Ms. Sharon, let me leave it alone. I will get vexed when I hear these things, and I don't want to raise up my pressure. And I told Uncle Bruce last week that I took my vaccine, and the next one is due. The second dose is due on the 2nd of November. And I'm going to take it, and if they have a third one and a fourth one, I'm going to take it. Who don't want to take it, I dare me. Yeah. Okay,
Thank
my
you so
darling. So
kindly.
be blessed until I hear you again.
Thank you, my dear.
Good.
Somebody saying yes, PSA is the largest union. Yeah? But Trinidad and Tobago, it's 8:41 and we're getting ready to wrap up in a short while. Mr. Chansey Wancy.
Yes, good morning, darling. I want to thank our former president of the PSC, right? Yeah, I already thank her. But I want to draw to the people's attention. I got up a little late, so I didn't hear when you read it. And I want to underscore what the auditor said, you know. And like Ms. Primer said, I want to compliment those who have been in this struggle. We can show that we get this report. And I want to underscore what they said. I want to listen carefully, you know. This is not Ms. Primer talking. This is not Sharon Felix talking. This is not the ordinary citizens out here talking. These are the auditors who examine the books and giving us a report. So it is factual. The association is in financial distress and may default on its obligation to creditors. You know what that means? I mean, they will not be able to pay the people they owe. Right? And may default on its obligation to creditors and possibly lead to bankruptcy. Didn't Ms. Primus not say that?
Just a while ago said it.
No. The people who say this now are the auditors, you know. These are trained professionals to analyze and evaluate this matter. And they are saying that it possibly lead to bankruptcy. But here the other part that caught my attention. And it said losses were a threat to the union's future. You hear that? The losses they have incurred is a threat to the union's future, meaning that if those persons who are owed money decide to recover all of that, there'll be no union. All the buildings, all the assets of the union will now be confiscated. And the history, the 70-year history of this union will go under. That is my ordinary interpretation of that. And I just want to say quickly, I heard a caller talk about government deficit and say it's the same thing. So it can't be the same thing. Here are the things that a government, not only this government, but a government all over the world do. They build infrastructure. They pay salaries and grants and pensions. They give you all these pensions. Is Duke giving anybody those things? Does Duke have foreign missions abroad? Does Duke have the capital expenditure to put out and the recurrent expenditure to put out like a government? The word is the same thing, but it's a different context. The word deficit is the same thing, but it's a different context that you're in. So it's a difference in terms of the context. You can't put the context of a government deficit with what is happening in Duke, because Duke does not have the outlay or the type of expenditure and the type of capital projects that the government will put in place. I want to thank Ms. Primus for explanations, and I want to say to the people of Tobago, what you could see in the day, don't take bull de faith to see in the night. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chance. And bully faith, no longer I hear that word, bully faith. And I have Massachusetts on the next side, bully faith. Massachusetts asked me if, what is the importance of filing audit annual financial reports? Massachusetts.
Hey, you going?
I don't understand. Massachusetts.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, sorry about that. I had on my headpiece and apparently it wasn't working.
Okay.
Blessings, Titans.
Blessings.
Mr. Brucey.
Morning.
When, during the most recent PSA elections, the stellar, fantastic morning drive time host, Ms. Sharon Felix, brought on some of the candidates. And when I was fortunate enough to ask a question, my main question was, what about audited annual financial reports? You see now that financial report has been published, what it has informed this sweet twin island republic of. You see what came out of that is the main reason why I kept asking about audited annual financial reports. Because it lets people see where the money went. And if the money can't be accounted for, then the person in charge of those finances will be held accountable, could be arrested, prosecuted, and based on the evidence, could be convicted and serve jail or prison time. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. So Trinidad and Tobago, it's 8:47 a.m. And boy, what a morning. What a morning. But you know, before I go, I had to touch a little bit. On last week behavior in the parliament. I can't just leave that just. So I had to touch a little bit on it, Let me take Omar call. Omar?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to Bruce.
Morning.
Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Well, I'm still dancing from the parliament on the weekend going there, my tune. I didn't want to say it this morning. Plus, I love to all of Trinidad and Tobago, and as I always say to you all, keep the guard up. Now is the time to be much more wise and watchful. Take care of the children and be safe on the nations that have. Hold on, please.
Morning, Miss Sharon.
Morning, Mr. Oga.
And how are you, dear?
A day, boy.
Getting younger and younger.
Yeah, man. You're
I've
right.
seen you. Looking good.
Eating, young juice.
Nah, you're using forever young and never go old.
I like that one.
Yeah, that don't change it. It come like a scent. Yeah, just called to say good morning to Bruce.
Morning.
Morning to Tobago. Morning to Shack Lady. Morning to Red Jersey. What about her?
Red Jersey, right there. She can't get in. Red Jersey.
Bring she out, man. The shock I want to hear she, man.
All right.
And Mora.
Mora, like she just can't. Mora only sending me love notes. Mora, like she just can't.
Bad, yes?
Mora only sending me love notes, and let's get it in the morning and the night.
I like the laugh too bad.
She does
have
send
a
me.
special laugh, an exciting laugh.
Oh, Lord. All right.
All right, I don't want to be long, so y'all be good to yourself and walk good.
All right.
All right, go on.
Okay, good.
Sharon,
So, guys, before... Yeah.
Let me say happy birthday to Miss Elma King, celebrating her birthday today.
My long-lost friend, she called me the other day. We couldn't get to talk. Good morning to Elma. Happy birthday to you. And Solfish Auntie wanted to send a happy. You should have just take the information. Oh, God, only when you see the thing hot. We had to structure this thing and leave a place to send the little greetings in the morning. When you see I in my hotness, I want to water pass and out my fire. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this now. I want you to play what I send you. Before we leave, we just have a couple of minutes. Listen to the lady. Listen to the lady. She said black, then she said blank. I wonder what she's going to say this time. Just listen to this. Let's get only a little teaser and we're getting ready to leave. But boy, we're in trouble in this country. What would have happened to us if the UNC was in the office, boy? Jesus Christ. With this pandemic? Jesus and ages.
Crap or smoke pipe.
I tell you, Papa, you. Listen.
The whole front bench, Stuart Young and Rawi and all these Raraban men, all these people. Moved them from the front bench, and what did they do? Supplanted them in the seats, in the seat. The front bench, Stuart Young and Rawi and all these Raraban men, all these people. Moved them from the front bench, and what did they do? Supplanted them in the... Removed the whole front bench, Stuart Young and Rawi and all these Raraban men, all these people.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no damn sorry.
That is one don't know sorry, that is what you meant to say. Just like the black become blank and all kind of thing.
The come down has just begun.
It automatically comes out, And especially if you see the spirits hit you, man, you're talking whole day and whole night, you didn't even know what you're saying. So Trinidad and Tobago, it's 8:51 or 8:52 by Bruce. 52. I am always like a minute behind.
Countdown going on.
Right. Yeah. So the word for today is divine order. And I want to thank everyone for getting up this morning to listen and to be part of but your contribution, your comments. And so I want to thank Mrs. Jennifer Patisse Primus for, joining in with us on the conversation. And I saw a text came in because we asked, and it is maybe the large NUGFW, maybe the largest union at this time. And I was told to remember OWTU lost thousands of members from Petrotrin. All right? So divine order shows me the presence of God. Do you need me? I am here. These words written by Unity poet James Dillett Freeman remind me that the presence of God is within and around me every moment. Bringing order and peace to my world, I open my mind and heart to this divine energy and become more mindful of its activity. I discover the order of nature in the changing of the seasons, the glory of the tree leaves in transition and cyclic ocean tides. I find intricate order in the masterful work of my body as it functions to keep me healthy. I'm grateful for the constant presence of order if I ever need a reminder of it. I simply turn within and recall the words, I am there. In all ways, I am blessed by the magnificence of divine order. See, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is anything too hard for me? Jeremiah 32:27. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you, it was a privilege and an honor for me to be on the program this morning. We must continue to thank God for all that He is doing and continue to do for us. We must continue to remember that. And I pray, God, that many more persons will understand the importance of following the protocol. Wash your hands, wear your mask, watch your distance. And there's a reason for it. And people, please continue to go and get vaccinated. Please. Please, please, please. And it continues to tell you, not because you feel you got vaccinated, you could go willy-nilly and do all kind of... You still have to practice the protocols. You still have to do it.
Keep safe.
And keep safe. Because they continue to tell us, as a fully vaccinated person, if you may come by the virus, it may not give you all the harsh symptoms. You may not end up in the hospital. And you may not know that you have it. And you may spread it to persons who are not vaccinated, who might get it severe or may not. So I'm just asking persons to think about it. Think about it. I've been able to convince so many people, and I thank God for that. And they went and got their 2 shots, even their 1 shot, and they're good to go. So to people, let's practice, let's try to be safe, let's try to beat this virus. And remember, as I always say it, we continue to see it. God getting vexed and angry with us. Because some of us moving away. Too far from Him. Be careful. Think of what you're doing. This is where we have to end it for today. Talk to you on Wednesday, please God. Tomorrow is Dominic's turn. And stay tuned. Don't shift your dial. Stay locked on for Google. And something telling me coming hot as usual. We're gone. Ciao.
expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.